What's the worst case of oversharing you've experienced on social media? People posting proof that their toddler used the potty. I don't want to see your child's literal shit, thanks. Some people take pics or it didn't happen way too far. Came here to say this girl posted a pic of her toddler's first toilet shit. I don't know what she fed that kid, but he pooped like a man. That's about the time I stopped checking Facebook on a regular basis. After recovering from a horrific labor, I asked my husband to load 2 pictures off of my camera on Facebook. He did that, plus the whole f***ing roll. My used swollen bloody vagina, had a 3rd-degree tear, stitched up, was on Facebook for over 24 hours before my brother alerted me. No one else f***ing told me. I'm still pissed, and this was 3 years ago. He doesn't touch the f***ing camera. Ever. This drama saga graced my newsfeed for months. This girl I went to high school with met and married this guy who was like 25 years her senior. He was from out of state and they married not long after meeting. I thought it was really weird, but whatever. Not even 2 months into the marriage, she starts posting rants about how her new husband's ex won't stop stalking him. Apparently this woman had a baby and she was claiming it was his. Not only that, she was claiming that she was also his fiancée and he had run out on her. My former classmate would post day in and day out about how she was just some home-wrecking bitch who wanted to ruin what they had because she was jealous. Well, one day, hubby gets served papers at work. He's being sued by this woman for child support. I know this because my classmate posted every juicy detail about it on Facebook. Her hubby vehemently denies all of it. He claims he's never even met this woman, that she's a crazy stalker, that her kid isn't his, etc. Court day rolls around and my classmate is updating her status like crazy. Hubby is requesting a DNA test. The suspense is left to build for a few more days. You'll never guess what happened, guys. The results came back and he totally was the father. Not only that, he was also the other woman's fiancé. Oh shit. Now the entire story spills out. Turns out this guy skipped town once he found out his fiancée was pregnant. For whatever reason, he met and married my classmate and took her name, thinking that would somehow throw his ex off the trail so she couldn't sue him for child support. LOL. For a couple weeks, my classmate would post statuses about standing by her man no matter what, but ultimately they were divorced by the end of the year. 10-year-old posted that he got his first pubic hair. I'm sure he will be cringing about it his whole life. I'm trying real hard to remember my first pube, but as far as I can remember I went from smooth and supple to afro overnight. Some girl was bragging to her rival hoe that she stole her man and posted a pic of his dick. Rival hoe replies with "Nah, that ain't him. This is what his dick looks like," and posted another dick pic. First girl decides to post more to compare. Ended up posting about a dozen dick pics from what seemed like 4 to 6 different men, trying to out-hoe each other. My good friend's sister Instagrammed a picture of a bloody maxi pad with the caption "praying for what could have been," after she literally had just got an abortion. It got a shitload of likes. I promptly unfollowed. This train wreck girl I went to high school with. My brother and I have co-workers who had her just for the pure entertainment value. She's tamed down because she recently had a baby, much to society's dismay. But, among other things, she's updated her Facebook feed on cheating on her husband, justifying her decision to do so because the guy works at Subway and was going to be the manager soon, so he's better than her husband anyway, her cat's labor, the subsequent rekindling of her marriage, her blowout fight with her sullen brother over them apparently not allowing her to see her niece, her brain tumor, her multiple ear infections, how drunk she is x1000. When my friend was posting her doctor's comments on her cervix and its condition, velvety and pliable, if you were wondering, I was f***ing done. There was a girl I went to high school with who once posted pictures of a clear plastic decorative skull filled with gunk that appeared to be hanging from the ceiling in her house. She then went on to explain in the caption and comments that the skull was filled with period blood that she had been collecting from a diva cup, and putting into a plastic skull in her living room. Beyond the obvious question of why would you do that in the first place, but why on earth would you share pictures of that on Facebook? I am still baffled to this day. A close childhood friend's full descent into schizophrenic madness, documented daily with as much as 20 Facebook status updates over the course of the past 6 years. At first, it was just him finding religion, then it went full fundy, then it got hateful. Gays, cancer patients, basically everyone deserves death. Then he started seeing and hearing things, and now he thinks he's a prophet, literally a modern Noah. He has left the sinful world behind and is preparing a cult compound. His ark for the end of days on a farm his wealthy, enabling father bought him. Facebook is his means of preaching to the outside world. He believes America is Sodom, and when the end comes, the few remaining righteous will be saved on his farm and he will be a king. He also believes the Lord has promised him a wife and that she is coming to the farm any day now. Funny how the date of arrival keeps getting pushed back. He even posts pictures of her. Very creepy. I reverse image searched them on Google and she's just some random girl from California who probably has no idea who he is. It's fascinating, like witnessing a train wreck. You just can't look away. One girl I used to go to high school with posted a status like "worst Christmas ever" and her partner replied saying, "It wasn't that bad, I'm sorry." She then posts saying, "You slept with a prostitute under the Christmas tree on Christmas Eve whilst your kids and I slept in the next room." Guy I went to school with posted a status, most likely while drunk based on the 1 a.m. timestamp, asking if any guy on his friends list was interested in having sex with his wife while he watched. One of her family members called him out on that not being something to post on Facebook and he got into an argument with them. Oh, a little story I can share. A year ago, my ex added me on Facebook. I figured it was really nothing because we'd not spoken to each other since freshman year of high school. 5 years before, I added her. We spoke a bit. It was pretty okay. We were on pretty decent ground with one another, I thought. A few months go by, and she begins posting these vague statuses up, you know the kind, going on about certain people, posting song lyrics and what she thinks are good poems. I figure whatever, she's probably going through a hard time, and I've been there before. I ignore it. Then they begin getting a little more specific. So much so that I can tell she is talking about an ex, someone who doesn't care about her anymore, and constantly shows off to try and make her jealous. Gee, that sucks. Then shit hits the fan. I post the fact that without going into too much detail here, I got work doing something that I've always wanted to, and that it's a pretty big step for me. I thanked my friend who got me the job. We planned a trip out to celebrate in the comments and things were okay at first. I still remember her status about an hour after that. It was a little bit on the nose, but enough for me to catch on to who she is talking about. I hope the job does to you what you did to me. Well, okay, I see that. Piece things together, then immediately delete and block her. I don't have time for that bullshit. My friend then contacts me asking if I see what she's posting. She, at this point, is straight up saying my name in her stats. She's posting my picture, talking about how I am a selfish prick who dumped her in the trash. She's expanding on the lies and just completely jumping the shark. I realize at this point that I have a crazy ex. Rest of the story is kind of boring. My friends called her out on the bullshit. She deleted a lot of the stuff talking about me. However, she never really stopped actually posting those semi-vague statuses. To this day, I checked her TL and she is still posting them every day or so. It has been a year. I saw a post from this guy I went to high school with. His status was something along the lines of, "I cheated on my wonderful girlfriend and I'm sorry. I was confused and I love her so much. She is the best thing that ever happened to me. I don't even know why I slept with the other girl. She was dirty and ugly. I'm apologizing publicly because my girlfriend asked me to prove my love." He was in his 20s and his girlfriend was about 18. All of his friends responded asking why he would ever do this. No one needs to know this shit, and if your girlfriend asked you to do this then you should break up with her. The girlfriend then starts messaging back from his account about how she thought this would make her feel better. Girlfriend, her cousin and all of the friends get into a discussion about the situation. They end up helping her work through her feelings and tell her to break up with him because she deserves better. Finally the guy realized what was going on, said goodbye to everyone and is probably single right now. myself actually. I wasn't diagnosed with Asperger's until I was 19-20, and up until then I was never really taught that sometimes I need a filter. Some things are meant to be kept secret. I was a fully open book. I had a journal-type blog on Tumblr where I would blog about what I did that day, how I felt, what I had planned. It was public because I didn't understand any reason to hide it. But I would publicly complain about people, discuss my sex life in detail with names, even share other people's secrets because back then I didn't understand those things shouldn't be shared. I thought you had to blatantly specify this is a secret, please don't tell anyone, otherwise it was fair game. With all that on the internet for anyone to see, it made my school and dating experiences a nightmare. Nobody trusted me either, and people were weirded out because I had no filter and wrote some pretty crazy things. I still have the blog up, but it's completely private. I just like to look back on it and cringe. This girl from my high school a year younger than me posted statuses for about 5 months complaining about how people would ask her when she was expecting, due to give birth at her job, hairdresser, and how angry she was and that she was just fat. Fast forward 1 month, so I just found out I am 8 months pregnant. How do you not know for 8 months? A friend of mine got fat, she was big to begin with, after breaking up with her high school BF, and blamed it on sadness eating. Blamed all the cramps and stuff on her bad diet. Went to the hospital one day with crazy stomach pain. Came home with a baby. Posted a selfie in the ER saying her stomach hurt so bad. And in the morning, posted a picture holding her daughter. Everyone on Facebook said OMG, I didn't even know you were pregnant. And she said me either. Since the ex is now a baby daddy, they got back together, broke up again, and again she gained weight from sadness eating. A few months later, she's in the hospital for stomach pain again, and now has 2 kids. Swear to God, this girl had no clue she was pregnant until she was in the hospital and was told she's in labor. Twice. Both girls are healthy and happy. Her parents support them, as baby daddy still lives with his parents and has no real job. Not trashy, but the scariest. A friend from high school began posting things to his closest friends' Facebook walls. Things like, you've been a great friend and it meant the world to me. He did this for at least 5 friends that I could see. The messages kept getting darker and darker, but it was the middle of the workday so no one seemed to see them. No comments or anything. I barely knew the guy, but I knew something wasn't right. I called one of his closest friends and told her to look at her Facebook right now. I told her about the other messages. Luckily she was able to get online at the time. She said she'd call him and talk to him. Apparently he didn't answer his phone, so she drove to his house. She banged on the door, but he didn't answer. She broke in and found him on his bed, passed out from an overdose. She called 911 and saved his life. Of course, I didn't find out about any of this until the next day when she called me. I'm so very glad that I noticed all his messages and reached out to his friend. He was in the hospital for a while and received some deep therapy. Eventually he messaged me to say thank you. If you like this video, you can subscribe. We'll be glad to see you here.